Yo, what is up guys? So we're going to be showcasing off the Skull Archfiend deck. Tomorrow, actually, in the OCG, they're finally getting the Exceeds Skull Archfiend. In fact, they've been releasing some Skull Archfiend support every now and then. It's been in this pack where if you spend over a certain amount of money, I believe it's $10 in the OCG, you get one of these special packs. In the TCG, I don't know when we're getting all of these cards, but nonetheless, Skull Archfiend is still a very iconic card if you were, back in the day, a Yu-Gi-Oh player that played on some of the Game Boy games. I mean, look at this triple threat. Turn 1, we've got the Synchro Skull Archfiend, the Beckon Skull Archfiend. We've got the Exceeds Skull Archfiend. I like how that's actually the name of it. And then we also have the Manifested Skull Archfiend. So what you want to do in this deck is try to bust out every single one of them, because each one of them has a bonus effect to all of these Skull Archfiend cards, or Archfiend cards in general. It's part of the Archfiend archetype, but I won't say Summon Skull is supposed to kind of be its own archetype inside of the Archfiend archetype. It's kind of crazy here. We're actually seeing the Ritual also, because there's a lot of newer stuff that just people are not playing at all. But anyways, yeah, you want to try to get all of them out on the board. I'm sure that we'll get a link card later down the line, but the Ritual one over here makes it so it cannot be destroyed by monster effects except for ritual monsters. So that's kind of cool. And then the Synchro over here makes it so your opponent cannot target summon skulls you control with card effects. And all of them have that effect where if this Synchro Summon or Exceed card you control would be sent to the graveyard because of an opponent's card, you get to actually special summon a Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard, so you get to re-bring back one of the Summon Skulls. Now there are all level 6, which is kind of unfortunate because usually you would use a 6 plus like another 1 but to make, like, let's say the Beckon Skull. But yeah, I'll go over the effects when we have this other gameplay over here in the background. This is another deck that I have not seen in a while, but shout out to my boy Spyro2002 for hooking me up with some good gameplay. In fact, I think this is one of the best Summon Skull decks I have seen. To even bust out every single one of them in one turn is really good. Obviously, you're going to need Brilliant Fusion and a lot of other things, but at the end of the day, trying to bust out this deck isn't very easy. I would say it's not going to be a competitive deck. I think you have a better chance at playing like Blue Eyes or maybe Dark Magician if you are trying to play some of the nostalgic cards, like, you know, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, all very popular, iconic cards. Summon Skull was actually one of the better level 6, or basically just tribute 1 monster with relatively high attack, but you're seeing pretty consistent plays where we're getting out like 2 Summon Skulls per turn. I'm gonna go ahead and Warlord reduce the attack, and unfortunately this is just a terrible matchup because remember guys, he cannot target them with card effects, and then on top of that, the Exceed over here, if a Summon Skull you control would be destroyed by a battle by card effect, you get to detach a material from this instead, and then it has that other effect of where if it would be destroyed, you get to actually summon another Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So that's kind of cool. And then the Fusion over here has the effect where it boosts them all up by 500 attack, so they'll be a little bit stronger. And then of course, you have multiple monsters with relatively high attack, and when you have all of them, you're going to be able to be immune to a few things here and there. I'm really waiting to see what comes out of the Link Monster. What's the Link Monster's effect going to be? Because they're going to be getting everything later down the line. I assume they should be getting it. Like I said, it comes out tomorrow in the OCG, so it's relatively new, and I have not seen anyone cover them. It's probably just because they're kind of difficult to play, honestly. Maybe not all of the support is out, but it just seems kind of random that they're spreading all these Summon Skulls here, but they're not releasing support other than, like, I guess, like the boss monsters. There's no, like, reinforcement of the army for Summon Skulls, or like something like for Skull Archfiends. But who knows? Maybe they'll get something later down the line in the future and they will become more viable. But I figured I'd give you guys some gameplay of something that has not really been covered in the Yu-Gi-Oh community because, well, it's not exactly what I consider tier 1, but nonetheless, fun deck. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go right into the Phoenix. Going to go pop the back row. Cosmojo is activated. So we go ahead and get rid of Warlord, and that unfortunately is still going to be game for the Cosmo player because, yo, Big Daddy BLS is indeed here to ruin people's day. But this is going to be up against the Fluffle. Actually, this one is kind of a blowout. He's like an instant win because, well, no one really knows what to do against Summon Skull. In fact, you know, reading is hard. Sometimes people will play obscure decks, and, you know, even myself, sometimes I'm like, I just play with my deck regularly, but I didn't mouse over the card. I'm like, what the heck does this do? You go for a play that, let's say, pops or targets, and the card is immune to that, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I just lose, because The Synchro card, I think, is one of the most important cards in the archetype, because this card already protects them. So he went ahead and just activated something. He's just like, dude, I can't defeat this. Because he would have probably went into like Coral Dragon or something like that. But anyways, I'll also give you guys the deck profile if you guys wish to see that. So if you guys want to make the deck yourself, have some fun with it. Like I said, I wouldn't consider it a very competitive deck, but it is something newer that I have not covered on the channel, and it comes out tomorrow. So some people might be looking for that. Again, it comes out in the OCG tomorrow. But as far as the TCG, yeah, we might be waiting for a while. Maybe they're going to put all of them together and maybe make a separate structure deck or something like that. It would be kind of cool to get one, just so you can get all of them at once, because again, they're kind of spread across these special 20th anniversary, like volume, I think it's 3, 4, and 5. But yeah, they're spread across pretty far. Just going to go ahead and attack into that Wonder Magician, attack into the Skull Archfiend. But again, this is showing you how resilient the deck is, because you're able to protect your cards. That Mally once again. It's going to be a little bit more difficult with only 2 Mallies in the TCG, but obviously this is more OCG oriented in the first place. But unfortunately, Ripperoni, no Snatch, Sealing Man, unaffected by everything. Doesn't goof. But it looks like the Chaos Ancient Gears. But it was kind of cool just to show you guys that the deck is kind of resilient and kind of survive over there with that effect. And also that effect is not like a once per turn, which is kind of nice, and that's kind of why I wanted to showcase that one over there. But anyways, for those of you guys that do want to build the deck over here, obviously if you had 3 Mallies, it would make the deck much better, but this is of course utilizing that new ban list that we have in the TCG, even though this is technically kind of an OCG deck until we get these cards. But let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So of course we got 2 copies of Summon Skull, we got the White-tailed Dragon, we got the Galaxy Serpent, Blackcloud Soldier, Fabled Sulcius, we got double Mallies, we got Stratos, 3 copies of Shadow Mist, 3 copies of Vion, 3 copies of Scorpio, 1 copy of Cobra, 2 copies of Carbonan, or we'll just call them Carbon for short. It's Carbondon, right? I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, 3 copies of Lone Fire, of course, for your plays with the Scorpio. We've got Lazuli, Bulb, 3 copies of E-Call, 1 Hero Lives, 1 Poly, Reinforcement of the Army, 2 copies of Burial Goods, we have Celestial Sexton, Upstart Goblin, and a 44 card deck. Crazy, crazy stuff indeed. I feel like you could drop it unless there's some other reason that I'm currently unaware of that would want you to actually utilize a spell card, let's say like Summoner Monk or something. Or like, for example, in decks like the Magical Musketeers, Upstart Goblin totally makes sense even if you're going over 40. I was just unaware of this, so if you want to let me know, Spyro, or if there's some other reason, you guys can let me know. We have Metal Foes Fusion, 3 copies of Designator, 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. We got the Manifested at 1. We got, of course, the Gemini Fusion. 2 copies of Beck, which I think, again, is one of the best cards. This and then this turn 1 was probably your best bet. And you got Wonder Magician, of course, for your Needle Fiber. And we got the Bouncer, Exceeds, Skull Archfiend, Gauntlet Launcher, Borlode, Boral Sword, Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus, Needle Fiber, and Cherubini Burning Abyss Link Monster. For the side deck here, I'm sure he was just trying out the Advent, but anyways, it says this face-up card cannot be destroyed by battle except with a ritual monster, and it can't be destroyed by monsters' effects except for rituals. So the only downside I have to say about the Advent Skull Archfiend is he does not actually protect the other Summoned Skulls. If you go to the other one, this boosts up all the Summoned Skulls by 500 attack. This one makes so the Summoned Skulls cannot be targeted, and then we have this card that makes so if they would be destroyed battle by card effect, you're able to kind of protect them. I just feel like the ritual is just kind of an outlier here, so it's treated as an Archfiend card, but it's only this face-up card cannot be destroyed by battle except for a ritual monster, and it cannot be destroyed by monsters' effects except for by ritual monsters. It's kind of weird, but they all have that effect once again that you can summon a Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It should be like Banished Zone 2. That would actually help out the deck quite a bit. But overall, I think that the Summon Skull is just more for fans, maybe for collectors than anything. It is one of those like anniversary packs. I believe it's the 20th one from the OCG. But yeah, that is the Summon Skull. Once again, shout out to my boy Spyro for hooking me up with these plays. But if you guys would like to change up the deck in any way, let me know down below in the comment section below. I think this is a deck that will just have to get more support for it to be even like kind of considered a deck that you might want to play. But if you just want to have some fun with the new Summon Skull or Archfiend deck. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh gameplay in action along with the deck profiles. And if you have any cool, unique stuff, I don't think there's anything recently released, but if you guys got any cool replays, we'd love to see them. Send them to AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. But thanks for watching. Peace out. I'm signing out.